We are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem in the Crypto episode 1154. Today is Friday, October 6th, 2023, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, most days right now, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today is definitely a 10ish day, despite the sunlight in the background and the weirdly high temperature finally in our area of 87 to 90 degrees a day. There was an abundance of fog outside, which has caused a lot of traffic. I was trying to get that early morning workout in and rush back to the show. So here we are. Top stories of the day. Rise of Ethereum staking came at the cost of higher centralization, says JP Morgan. TV's Kevin O'Leary. All the crypto Cowboys are going to be gone soon. Elon Musk hits at SEC. Department of Justice amid suit to force testimony in Twitter probe. And crypto VC funding falls to 3-year lows as market rout continues. And depending on time, maybe a couple other ones. I saw Ledger was making layoffs, or Ledger had about layoffs. 12% of staff got laid off. And of course, the FTX saga continues as this is third day in trial. Sam Bankman-Fried. I didn't really want to cover that story because honestly, I get how it became a social media phenom and it's like everyone's talking about, but realistically for our warriors and people who've been here, the reason why we didn't cover him to begin with, or even we pointed it out just like everyone else, but the reason why we get in depth with this is because it's like, hey, we didn't get in depth with BitConnect. We really didn't get in depth with WannaCoin. We're not getting in depth with Terra Luna. We're not going to get in depth with FTX. We did enough shows and just like this whole expose that everyone's doing on FTX on the mainstream side of things, even on the mainstream, I guess, YouTube side, is like there's many, many more FTXs out there. But this was the latest one. So third day in trial on that as well. All right, first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices, see what's going on in the market. For the most part, what I saw, a lot of sideways movement. Of course, you got a few pump and dumps here and there, but same old same. Let me bring it up. Here we go. Same old same for this quarter. Bitcoin is at $27,586, down 1.67%. Ethereum's at $1,630, down 0.83%. Number 4, BNB at $211, down 0.7%. Ripple at 5.52 cents, down 1.17%. Number 7, Solana at $22.97, down 1.73%. Cardano at 26 cents, down 0.46%. Dogecoin at 6 cents, down 0.38%. And Tron at 8 cents, down 3.3%. Trending tokens are Chainlink down 1.4%. 1inch Network up 0.23%. Shout out to 1inch. 1inch does a good job. And Bitcoin, of course, down 1.69%. Fear and Greed Index has retraced just a little bit. I think about 4 points since the last show at 43. So it's neutral still, which again, we've been going sideways for a while. It's to be expected. It's pretty cool they added that, even though, hey, who knows? It might be one person who's putting a number up there. It might be a vote. Who knows? But the Bitcoin dominance at 49.6% and Ethereum at 18.1%. So there we have it. Really interesting, too. Market cap is at $1.08 trillion. That is not a lot, people. That is a very small market cap. So, yeah, but just remember that number, 1.08. It will be interesting to see where is that in January, and then where that number will be at in May as well. January and May are the 2 months that will be very interesting to me to see where that number's at. All right, I was kind of laughing because I just saw something coming in from Cardano in the email. I'm not sure if it's like from their foundation or for their actual team or something, whatever. But they reached out, so they were trying to feed me some smaller ones. They wanted to feed me the small fish. I'm about to be like, no. There's only one or two people from there I want to interview. You guys want to make this happen. So I'll respond back to their email later, and I guess the future will tell us what happens. But I think they tried to throw out some of their team at me. I was like, hold on, like, y'all gonna do it for real. Where old Charles at? I want to know location. We got we had a chance to get McAfee here live, of course, on his boat when he was on the run. So, I mean, listen, you ain't the only one who's been on the run, who's been on the show live, okay? Maybe we'll go for him. All right, let me get some quick shout-outs so we get this show rolling. BK Crypto, boom, number one person in the comments, too. Shout out to the Warriors. This is some gear from BK Crypto, hot off the press. Woo, that thing is fire, isn't it? It is a great shirt to wear on a Friday. This is my spirits right now. An explosion of energy and great things happening. Shout out to BK Crypto. Truly appreciate this crew neck. I just found out it was called a crew neck yesterday. My girl told me it's a crew neck. I was like, it's a sweatshirt or something. I mean, that's what I call it. I don't know. Laura Smith, what up, though? Patrick Walker, excuse me, PFC Will, Satoshi Slim, Crypto City. It's fogging on the East Coast. So yeah, it's crazy though. It's not fogging throughout the city. It's literally just toward the beach areas or whatever. It's crazy right now. So it's pretty interesting. Smitty Farms, Wisdom Bars. Thank you for that like. Smash that like. Yimmy O, what's up, Yimmy? James O, preach peace from the London fam. There we go, from the UK. We got, listen, the UK, we support you all. You all support us. Much appreciated. Let's see. Chain Analysis is laying off too. Said PFC Wells, like a couple hundred analysts. Yeah, so, and we've seen this before. This is why I put that one article last, not to end it on a bad note. We'll be talking about crypto VC funding. That and the layoffs. I mean, again, we've seen it. This is the probably going to be the lowest points we're reaching right now. So I guess that, again, unless we get a black swan event, this is the price point. But we're reaching these lowest points before this happening and things take off. But at these lowest points, I mean, people are consolidating. Things are happening, unfortunately. And layoffs are definitely a part of it. And funding is definitely a part of it as well. Let's see. Laura said SBF didn't do anything that banks are doing. I say free them unless you're going to arrest the bankers. True, but he did with crypto. You know the deal. Kendra D, good morning. Let's see. Wendy Nichols, good morning. Good morning. With Cornelius, 1 inch does a good job. Things she never said for $400, Alex. Cornelius, a way to start the morning off with a laugh. 1 inch network does a great job. Okay, give them props. 1 inch network does a great job. Jerome, what's going on, Jerome? No cap, Zyro. Man, nobody's late. I ran late myself, if anything. Humney, what's going on? About to go spar, but had to check in. That's what I'm talking about. Wake up in the morning, throw a little 1-2-1-2, get back to the Bitcoin. Yeah, I got it in this morning as well before the show, so I feel you. All right, top story of the day. This was a pretty interesting story to me. Ethereum. Whew. Rise of Ethereum staking came at cost of higher centralization, says JP Morgan. It also has here Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin and previously admitted that centralization is one of Ethereum's main challenges, which could take 20 years to solve. This is very interesting coming from these two, one person and one organization. Reason being is because all the Ethereum folks who are out there arguing for it 24/7. I'm looking at you, Bankless. You guys do a great job, but you all be arguing for Ethereum. And it's like even Vitalik Buterin was like, hey, this thing might take 20 years to fully figure out. And now you have the most centralized of the centralization army. Was it JP Morgan even coming out saying, hey, Ethereum is centralized? If JP Morgan of the bank is calling Ethereum centralized, Houston, we have a problem. Like, this is beyond corporate at this point. And I'm a fan of what Ethereum's doing as well, but to me, this is very telling. And of course, obvious reasons. If you watch this show or have been in the crypto space, you already know why. It has to do with those nodes. But the rise of Ethereum staking since major network upgrades, merge in Shanghai has come at the cost of higher centralization and lower staking yields. A new report by JP Morgan said, hey, they made sure to throw that out there. Why y'all running away from the bank? They're about to give you the same 3% we can give you again or whatever. JP Morgan's analyst led by senior managing director Nicholas, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. You know what? Yes, I am. Happy Friday. I am. Panigert Soglo. I'm going to say Soglo. Zoglo issued a new investor note on October 5th, warning about the risk stemming from Ethereum's growing centralization. This is where you actually got to be careful at, because for Ethereum, again, there's a lot of mom and pops and crypto enthusiasts in general that have their capital in Ethereum for sure. Like, I'm not going to even try to guess the percentages, but it's definitely a hefty percentage, right? However, there is a lot of institutional money that has flowed and flooded into Ethereum through their connects of people in places like JP Morgan and other banks that are similar. So if they're going to issue this investor alert isn't for the mom and pops and the crypto enthusiasts. This investor alert is for the other VCs and the wealth managers out there. And you got to remember, JP Morgan is like Michael Jordan of banking, people. Like, they're one of the tops. They're one of the GOATs for sure when you're talking about traditional banking. So if they issue this alert, this isn't for, again, just people who get on YouTube and watch some good channels and good different people and things like that who are making their own decisions. They're talking about, again, the VC firm that's in charge of billions of dollars or whatever. So when they give that out, like to me, that is a huge red flag for Ethereum. Now, again, technically all of crypto, Ethereum included, is JP Morgan's competitor. So they could be saying this is FUD. I mean, these being true statements, but still they could be putting it out there as FUD, really just to kind of scare people away from crypto and bring them back to banking, saying, hey, it's safer to do it with us. But they also could be doing this to, again, warn people who are other bankers, other venture capitalists are in Ethereum. The analyst mentioned that the crypto community has seen the decentralized liquid staking platform Lido as a better alternative to centralized staking platforms associated with centralized exchanges like Coinbase or Binance. However, in practice, even decentralized liquid staking platforms involve a high degree of centralization. JP Morgan's report said, adding that a single Lido node operator accounts for more than 7,000 validator sets or 230,000 Ethereum. Now, yes and no. I do agree, especially early on. Platforms like Lido definitely has a degree of centralization, but they also have a very high degree of decentralization for what you're looking for on Ethereum. And what I mean by that is like, I don't have to provide my ID or my blood type or any of these things. If anything, I just need a burn email address and a MetaMask wallet. So like that is in of itself like a barrierless, well, I won't say barrierless because again, those are the two small barriers, but it's very small barriers, not a lot of friction to get involved in that market and to actually become a player, right? So if I had whatever amount of money, I would say 50 bucks, I would say 10 bucks, but because of gas fees, you need to pump that up. If I have $50 and I do want to go on Lido, and if I had left it on there the last year and a half, 2 years, we did it in our classes, you were making your money. Like, I don't remember off the top of my head, let's say 8 to 13%, depending on what different projects you're in. But it has and had been working. If anything, what scares me about the places, the platforms like Lido, is Ethereum as a whole being centralized. So I do get it. And again, great point by them to point it out as well. This also shows me that the analysts that JP Morgan and other banks have hired have become more educated in this, right? They've either educated them themselves or they went out on the streets and found these people. I mean, it's New York, it's crypto, it's not hard to find as well. So shout out to JP Morgan for actually having some people who know what they're talking about now. They said these know, well, they're talking more about Lido. We'll get away from that. Apart from higher centralization, post-merge Ethereum is also associated with an overall staking yield decline, JP Morgan noted. The standard block rewards declined from 4.3% before the Shanghai upgrade to 3.5% currently, the analyst wrote. The total staking yield has declined from 7.3% before Shanghai upgrade to around 5.5% currently, the report added. Now, that is true. The total staking yield definitely took a dip. Anyone who is staking Ethereum kind of noticed that immediately because, again, when you have like higher amounts who felt comfortable putting thousands of dollars into these staking platforms for Ethereum, that's a difference. Like 7.3% off $10,000 a month versus that 5.5%. Like that's a nice little chunk right there. JP Morgan analysts aren't the only Ethereum observers that have noticed a significant increase in centralization on the network following the merge upgrade executed on September 15, 2022. The merge has been seen as a major impediment to Ethereum's decentralization and a major reason for dropping yields. So again, this is just a round of bash Ethereum day coming from JP Morgan. I'm not sure who they're betting on next. Who's the Ethereum competitor that all the big banks are betting on? Someone let me know in the comments because I'm assuming that's who JP Morgan's backing now that they're thrashing Ethereum. Or is their core on blockchain all the way up and running? I don't know. Let me know. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this I'm going to go ahead and put the link to call in the comments as well. So if you want to call in for anything, go ahead and get it out. Let it be known. Don't hide. Let me know. Goodness said Lido is not decentralized, King. Like I said, in the aspect of not needing KYC, it is. So you got to look at it from, again, there's levels of decentralization. But of course, somebody is definitely running those servers, keeping the lights on, so on and so forth. Let's see who's going to have to end up paying for that wasted energy. Their customers with raised credit card fees, lower interest rates for ridiculous deposit, higher fees for non-commercial customers. Talking about the banks, I'm assuming. Let's see. Okay, you said, banks have been running the shitcoin game with credit cards. Partnering with fintech companies was and is a waste of time and money for them. resources as well as for the integration. It's actually funny you said that. There was another story today of a crypto project partnering with some type of card or whatever, and I did not want to cover it for that exact reason. I was like, blah, like get out of here. Like I'll believe it when I see somebody I know using it. When I go to Trader Joe's or something, I see somebody like get out of here. And honestly, I'm with the Congress lady. I think it was a Congress lady, one of the local ones here, who was trying to banning cash, like yeah, banning cash so that you can use cash in LA. It is people, it's ridiculous. You can't use cash anywhere in Los Angeles right now, now at any like modern store. Like if you're gonna go get like food in many places, or especially if you're doing anything with any culture added to it, then yeah, anything cultural, they're gonna take cash. But as far as all this modern new age, it's like I've been using my phone to pay with everything the last like 2 or 3 weeks. I finally put everything on my phone as far as little Apple cards and blah blah blah, all the little things that just makes it easy to pay. And it's just been my phone everywhere I go. And I'm just like, I can't believe they really have us all doing this. This is crazy. So to me, yeah, when these car companies are partnering up, like that step is about to be skipped. If anything, it's going to be directly to the phone where it's going to be wallet access to all these point of sale devices. Like literally, that's all that's missing. BitPay, get on y'all shit. Coin payments, get regulatory clearance in the United States. Like goodness gracious, people, if you're a warrior right now, I'm giving you jobs. Literally reach out to these companies and tell them you can do this and make it happen. But yeah, all we're missing on these point of sale devices is to have whatever crypto device already there, payment platform that accepts 1,000 different cryptos, and you just tap your phone with your wallet. So as far as these cards going, like I don't know. Like I don't know. We might skip that step. I mean, it's kind of like in some third world countries when they finally got phones, they already had like smartphones or flip phones at the very least. They never had corded phones. They never had answer machines to begin with. So if you actually speak that part of history to them, they're like, wait, a phone, like a hook, phone on a hook, no caller ID. They don't understand no caller ID. When they first received phones, they already had all the bells and whistles. So I think that's where we're heading when it comes to the crypto side. If you ain't green, you broke. What are you talking about? Cash. Let's see. Hold on. I see some funny comments rolling in. You guys are crazy. JP Morgan is wild to comment on crypto, period. They hated on us. Exactly. But this is my point about them stealing the narrative, and it was going to eventually happen. It is happening, and this is how you do it. You start throwing in little things like, yeah, I think we should do this. I think that. And it was like, whoa, wait. Once again, you came, not only did you come to the party late, you came, tried to shut the party down 3 or 4 times. You hated on it. You was telling the police there was some loud music going on down there and all those kids and all this other stuff. And then you came back around and now you're trying to tell us what music to play. So I definitely get it. But again, it's one of those things, while you want to ignore it, we can't ignore it. They're the biggest bank out there. Let's see, Visa and Solana institutions. Yep. Goodness said those servers are what matter. Yes. But you gotta let me know this. I'm not sure about this either off the top of my head. Exactly how, if possible, would those servers see here's what it is. It matters, but it's like it matters, but let's say they were to do something crazy and say we're going to steal all the Ethereum, right, from everybody. While that they would steal a lot of capital, technically everyone would just stop using it and believing in it instantaneously as well. And every platform would say, well, we're not accepting Ethereum because nobody wants it anymore. So it's like you steal all this capital and then it will be dead overnight. So goodness, I get what you're saying, but there's a lot of game theory to go into the server space. He's talking about the centralized aspect of Ethereum, or Lido specifically, I guess, Lido. But yeah, so there's layers to it. There's definitely layers to it. I get you. But again, you got to go with what we have right now. And outside of some of the things being built on Bitcoin, not many things are perfect at all. All right, let's see what we got going on. They said they're trying to do this in Alabama. Humney said, let's see, no cash accepted. Car wash yesterday did that. No cash accepted. Wow. Wallets are turning into digital IDs. You already know it. PFC Wells. You already know this. Listen, every time I notice I've done it on my phone. Oh, it's tracking. It is tracking name, bank number, card used, everything. Oh, it's tracking for sure. So yes, I am cognizant of that. But listen, I'm getting to the point in life. I need the cameras and tracking on me because listen, I'm good. I'm not worried about me, but these folks be after me. You know how it goes. All right. I rather listen. I rather have I'd rather be watched 24/7. So when it happens, we know exactly what happened and how it happened. Let's see. Humbly said, I try to tell small businesses around my area about accepting crypto, but they're so in the dark about it down south. Yep, I already know. I know, man. It's crazy. Well, honestly, in California, they're not in the dark, or at least I'll say in Los Angeles, they're not in the dark. They're just not accepting of it. You have to remember, a lot of people have money. They're relying on the banking institution and stuff. And as I just recently spoke to some people, they're like, no, they're okay with and they like the banks. I'm like, even in 2008 financial, they're just like, I mean, things that I mean, you gotta understand, people are okay with being sheep. You all have to realize that some people are really okay being sheep for real. You said the servers are mainly Amazon Web Servers. Vitalik said the network is run by in 2 bedrooms. Listen, if you're going to say that, I would go off on a limb and say 70 or 80% of the crypto market is super centralized and using those same Amazon Web Servers. And I would go even further than just say the crypto market. I would say probably half of the internet is probably using Amazon Web Servers, Oracle, or whoever Google was trying to create or use, whoever. So I mean, that's what I mean. Like, there's layers to this in game theory. Like, come on, web servers, Amazon are the biggest out there. All right, let's see. What else we got? And Bowling, what's up? Welcome back to the live show. Patrick Walter, have I seen the story about ERCOT paying a Bitcoin miner over $13 million to curtail electric during summer heat wave here in Texas? No, I have not, but I'm going to check that out. Hold on. ERCOT Bitcoin miner. I'm going to check that out. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I see it now. We'll end on that one. That's a great note, great news story to end on. Appreciate that one. Let's see. Crypto's AWS like 90% of the internet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're gonna go there, listen, the whole internet is jacked up right now. If you really want to go there, satellites for the internet. The government a long time ago, the same way they're trying to do crypto service providers, decided who internet service providers would be, who's allowed to have satellites, so on and so forth. I mean, we're talking about 11 to 17 companies off the top of my head right now. Are you kidding me? This gets crazy right now. So that's a whole different story right there. Yes, we have to rely on human nature still, which is why the robots are being built as we speak. All right, let's get into some more news. Kevin O'Leary said, no, I won't go. Again, the gumption. I would love to be in a position to make egregious mistakes to cost people millions of dollars of money, if not billions, and then just come back on TV and the news the next day like, is nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. Hey, like, that's life. Life goes on. And then start to pontificate and make future comments about things that are happening. But that's what he's doing. But hey, I won't totally disagree with them just because he jacked up that FTX deal. But you all have to know the details about it as well, which I just found out today looking at this article. I skimmed through this one to make sure it was actually worth reading. TV's Kevin O'Leary, all the crypto cowboys are going to be gone soon. O'Leary, entrepreneur and television personality. Check this out, folks. This is the point. Remember, I said I read the headlines before I start, and this was in the headline. Kevin O'Leary was paid $15 million by FTX for 20 service hours, 20 social posts, 1 virtual lunch, and 50 autographs, according to Michael Lewis's new book, Going Infinite. Now, again, that's according to his book. I didn't read it. I don't know the details if this is accurate, but if this is accurate, holy shoo, are you kidding? And then it's just like, Kevin O'Leary, for you to point the finger at Binance, talking about they're not doing regulatory things or whatever, like, are you kidding me? A person who has the ear of the nation through Shark Tank and various other business ventures and things of that sort, radio, TV, whenever, CNBC, all that, all the bells and whistles. You're allowed to go on, and this is, and the crazy part is, this is after you talk about how bad Bitcoin is and how you should not invest in it and things like this. Bitcoin is bad. Bitcoin is no good on Monday. And by Friday, you're saying Bitcoin is good. In fact, you can get it at FTX. Wow. Like, America. Kevin O'Leary. Wow. Who's the other person that's doing that right now, but is kind of in some trouble with it? I just had the name on the top of my head. I'm losing it. It's going to come back to me, but it's someone else doing the same type of little game. But I think they're getting caught up with it. That's crazy to me. I don't want to say his name because he's suing people, but one of them guys on that morning radio show who getting sued, that's why they're suing the guy. So allegedly, I think it was allegedly DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club, right? I will say, because hey, they ain't never give us no props on the Bitcoin tip. They bring it, and listen, this is another person. I wonder how it happens. He brings in Bitcoin Rodney to talk on the Breakfast Club. Their team does, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is a Miami guy, interesting stuff on Bitcoin. The Lambo, the girls, all the good stuff, all the stuff you need to know about Bitcoin, Lambo and girls and strip clubs. I saw them at a strip club when I was there. So that's who they decided to bring on, these type of guests, right? I guess now this guy, and the one guy did a scam video on it. Now he gets into it with the guy who's selling real estate. I don't know. And allegedly the real estate deals are bad, but he was using his platform, the Breakfast Club, syndicated nationally, excuse me. I don't know if it's international, but nationally, they're saying, hey, you told hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people about this, and they trusted you, which is why they got into it. So I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I don't know. And I'm not getting into the legal thing of it either. I'm just saying the fact that it's brought up like that for a small amount, that's a few $1 million. This was a multi-billion-dollar issue with FTX. Kevin O'Leary was one of the main spokespersons for $15 million for what they're saying again is what 20 social posts, 20 service hours, $15 million for 20 service hours. I told you, I remember when we were doing that when I was reading the article and they were talking about the FTX article when the trial was starting, and some of the advisors and analysts, and they were like, hey, we're billing like, I think they were billing like $2,000 an hour, $1,500 an hour, $800 an hour. The billing was from like $800 to like $3,500 an hour. And I said, that's actually not bad. I was like, that's actually fair. That's about right. For corporations and businesses and institutions I work with, it's in that range for me as well for crypto. So it's like, no, that's fair. That's the running number for these numbers. So you get a Kevin O'Leary, you get a well in 15 million for 20 service hours. Where's Fumble McBumble when it comes to the people like this, right? There's no Fumble. What's his name? Where's McFumble Bumble, who used to be on here? There's no Fumble McBumbles when it comes to these type of people. This is absolutely insane. But on top of all that madness I just mentioned, he's just back in the news making comments. That's what I love most. He's just back in the news like he didn't do anything. I love it. Kevin O'Leary, the Canadian entrepreneur and television personality who reportedly served as a paid spokesperson. Well, it wasn't, I won't say reportedly. I mean, he even said he was a paid spokesperson for now collapsed FTX exchange. Thinks the era of what he calls crypto cowboys is waning as the industry shifts to being regulated. Okay. I already know what happened. He probably made a deal with the government, which makes sense. I mean, like, yeah, look, I'm a spokesperson. I got my money. Yeah, what you need, US? What you need, Uncle Sam? Yeah. So here's the thing. For the most part, what he's considering the crypto cowboys are definitely the FTXs, but he's also talking about in general all the crypto cowboys that were the founders of this industry, unquote. O'Leary said on an interview on Coindesk TV, they're all going to be gone soon. They all have arrows in their backs. Despite all this, O'Leary remains optimistic about crypto, but won't get involved in the exchange unless it's 100% compliant. Exactly, man. You got too much money in other business ventures at stake, man. Stop playing. And he didn't even know he was talking about. Hey, you know what? Really quick, I want to point out Kevin O'Leary was another noob. All he was a noob who got took by a scam. Kevin O'Leary got took by BitConnect. I want to point that out. And listen, I love Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank. He structures the best business deals. Even the other sharks have learned how to structure deals from him throughout the season. So I have to give him his props as a businessman. However, when it came to crypto, his ass got humbled. Same as Mark Cuban. Same as the list goes on and on and on. Elon Musk, Dogecoin to $1. Listen, he got his ass humbled in crypto. Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Mike Novogratz. I got Mike. Listen, you all are getting your asses humbled. This is why we keep saying it doesn't matter what you've been doing, what profession you have, how great you were. When you come over here, you're a ground zero. It's a great equalizer. That's the good thing about crypto. It's never too early to start. And even like your 8-year-old can be on the same level as Kevin O'Leary. If your 8-year-old didn't invest and do anything with FTX, they're winning. All right. So to go back to this, though, I actually agree with them. The crypto cowboys, the founders in the industry, not only are they and we out the door, or at least they're attempting to get us out the door. It's been that way for a while. It's been that way since Charlie Shrum was in prison for essentially having a Bitcoin exchange in New York. They say you didn't have a money transmitter license, and conspiracy to commit whatever else because you can't prove that a person who buys Bitcoin from you won't buy drugs, even though you can't do the same from a bank or ATM. He went to prison at 23 years old, 24 years old for that. You talk about Ross Ulbricht. We just said he has his 10 years in prison officially for his double life sentence for Silk Road, the creation of that, and whatever else they said that came with that. So those are some of the founders you look at, but even more recent, I mean, people, library credits, right? They weren't doing any type of fraudulent scheme and lending and this and pissing people off. They just had a regular crypto project they were trying to get rolling. And SEC Gary Gensler said this is a security, and they get pummeled overnight, right? So Ripple, XRP, they weren't doing anything wrong. If anything, I give it to them. XRP found their lane and stayed in. They weren't trying to take over the rural financial market and Bitcoin. They're like, listen, if you want to transact fast and blah, 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 banks and institutions and countries, we got you. They kept it streamlined and straightforward, and the government went after them. So these are some of the bigger founders I think he's talking about, and I do agree with them. It's not only because of the arrows in their backs. I would say I would say yes and no. I would say no is not like a direct shot where like the government took them down. That's why I kind of think of arrows in the backs. But I will say arrows in the backs will just keep getting nicked and nicked and nicked, and things not going their way. Like I said, you're talking about Ledger. Ledger is one of the biggest companies in this space. They're laying off 12% of their staff. Celsius, what literally at the Bitcoin conference, Celsius had the largest booth. It was huge, and within 9 months they were bankrupt. So yes, I agree. I mean, I have to agree with this statement. And here's the problem with it too. It's not because again they're falling off from their own devices, some of these, or their own vices, some of these projects and platforms. It is literally because of disruption and intervention. And these are some of the things I don't think people saw coming, where they're literally in a financial and economic war, not only with the government, but with actual institutions and banks too. And they know how to play this game. They got, media, they have marketing, they have regulators, they have politicians, they are changing laws literally overnight. We've seen that happen in this space so often. So like these are all the tools they're using to just nick away at some of these founders. And as soon as they're gone, they replace them with the pretty picture ones we're starting to see pop up, where we're like, wait, where did you come from? And how do you have 10 or 15 people who work for the government on your board? Like, how is this possible? Like, what's going on right now? And you have money overnight. Like, what just happened? So we're starting to see more and more of those pop up, and they're just waiting in the wind. They're waiting for the next bull cycle too. And in between that time, they just want to knock off everyone they can. So I agree with him in that statement. But see, he knows already because he's one of the people who's shooting arrows. That was a literal arrow he shot at Binance, not even in their back, in like their front, back side to side, when he was in front of Congress or Senate. And instead of talking about why he decided to be a spokesperson for FTX after he said Bitcoin was a no-go, he instead redirected the attention to, which is a smart play, by the way, redirected the attention to Binance, saying, hey, you guys are talking about FTX. This thing is with Bohemia. This is way bigger. They're not regulated anywhere. We need to be watching them. And next thing you know, Binance is going through it. So, I mean, foul but fair play. He's one of those people shooting arrows at crypto Cowboys for the institutions, for the government, because he knows the moment we can get the Binances out of here. Here's the deal. Kevin O'Leary will be a spokesperson for another crypto company again. You better believe it. And that 15 million just went up because of all this media around him. It worked. The eyes were there. He'll be able to at least get 25 to 28 million, if not a full 30 plus. Easy. I mean, you're talking about, let's say someone did an ICO for 500 million, which is possible. We saw ICOs for a couple of $1 billion. So someone does a 250, 300 million, $450 million raise. They're not about to skimp on the marketing. Kevin O'Leary at work. Give him 50 million. Just give him the money. Give him the money. Make him happy. He'll do what he needs to do for us. We trust him, at least doing that. Like, Kevin O'Leary is setting this up perfect. He's shooting the arrows in everyone's back. He's going to get rid of the Binances and whatever else that's non-compliant. As soon as these compliant companies begin to come in and take over, Now it's just a bidding war. Who wants Kevin O'Leary to represent them? He'll go reach out to them. So what he's doing for himself and Kevin O'Leary and Mr. Wonderful is perfect business. I see how he's doing this deal. I see how he's structuring this deal. But for the overall market, it is absolutely terrible because, again, he's literally pointing regulators and using taxpayer funds to just figure out ways to destroy people who are innovating in a new market. Instead, he wants these legacy banks or these new institutions who are compliant to take over, so he can just hitch a ride and get paid and do everything. I get it, whatever, it works, but that's essentially what's happening here. Good thing about this, institutions do come in that would essentially raise the price of Bitcoin as they cleaned it up, as you say. Again, the bad thing about this is that at what cost? Let's say Bitcoin does hit $300,000 to $500,000 of Bitcoin in the next X amount of years because of things like this, because the Cowboys are dead and now it's compliant with regulatory industry standard. You think all that's going to be free? You think all that is going to be free? No, absolutely not. They're taxing what? Marijuana in states like California, Colorado, 33% for a plant that grows. What do you think they're going to do with a financial product that keeps making money because more people adopt it and it could possibly take over the global financial system? All right. We're talking like at least 40% taxes on every transaction that's crypto, especially if they can put it through a compliant registry, to where now it's just like it's not even a question. It's just it's going to be like a gas fee. That will be the gas fee, the 40% tax. So that's the losing. It's like, okay, well, you have a $300,000 to $500,000 Bitcoin, but it's basically the same buying power as it would be if it was 100,000 or worse, 50,000 or 30,000. You have to remember they're trying their best to manipulate and stabilize this market. People like Kevin O'Leary saying and doing the things he's been doing is helping them stabilize his market, especially again when you have a lot of people who are okay with this type of behavior. So that's the scary part to me. But hey, that's what's happening. Cowboys are going to be gone. I'm seeing a lot of people say Kevin O'Leary is a grifter in the story. O'Leary has his own exchange, so it's a win. Oh, okay, there we go. His exchange is insolvent. Don't believe the hype. He shot back at Binance because CZ exposed SBF is fair. No, for sure. Listen, Binance was only doing his best business move too. Hey, that was hilarious too. Binance was like, basically, he was like, yeah, meet me at the court at 3 p.m. We gonna shoot some hoops or whatever. CZ or SBF was at the court at 3 p.m. Binance was nowhere to be found. It was just a bunch of thugs just standing around looking at SBF by himself. It was like, oh, you came down, who you with? Like, oh, I'm supposed to meet Binance. Binance. Yeah, we was gonna do make some plays together, and we was gonna some partner and some 2-on-2. I think I'm just gonna leave. No. Wait right here. Wait here. What did you say your name was again? He left you at the park by yourself, man. SBF, man. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Binance was always going to collapse regardless of O'Leary snitching. No, I agree. Like all cryptocurrency exchanges, I think they only have so long in the sun. I just got a bug just flew in here on me. They only have so long in the sun, I think. Anyway, Binance has had its years. This is what's crazy to me about the Binances of the world. Like, shut down. Everyone's coming after you now from a regulatory standpoint. They don't like crypto. You made nothing to something, billions of dollars. Why do you even want to keep doing this? It's, oh my goodness. Do you want to go bald, TZ? Is he already bald? Like, I would be like, you know what? I would either step down or shut down, sell everything. Hey, y'all got it. It's getting crazy. I get it, but we had a good run. We had a hell of a run. We will be in the movie. We come back in a couple years, new crypto projects with capital that on our own capital. Like, I don't get why they want to keep going anyway. Like, the US is pissed off. All right. Like, Australia is pissed. Like, it's so many countries pissed off. And y'all just like, oh, we'll just figure it out. Why, man? Just let it go. You made money. Let's see. What else we have? Goodness said Kevin is lucky he got the money. If not, he should be in jail with SBF for pushing misinformation. That I agree with, and that was my point. He's definitely pushing misinformation. FTX shows none of these scammers are good businessmen. I agree with that. I kind of I said the same thing when Kevin O'Leary got, man. I was like, I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, man. I like, he's a great business person. I found out Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, when you got, I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, man. It broke my heart. It absolutely broke my heart. Let's see. But Kevin, to be fair, he put his reputation and brand on the line, not just service hours. But he a hell of a marketing. He's a hell of a market because his brand is still thriving. That's my point. His brand is still thriving. And like I said, even myself personally, I like when it comes to crypto, I'll thrash him. But when it comes to regular business stuff, I won't thrash him. Like that's what I mean. Like you got. It is what it is. He's had years of wins. We can't like go crazy because I guess even though this is a catastrophic loss, like goodness gracious, but he still shouldn't be talking right now. That's my thing. It's like, bro, let it die off into the next season of Shark Tank. Like, stop talking about it, man. Let's see. What else do we have? All the sharks don't know anything about crypto. Using them for publicity is crazy. You know it. O'Leary is old money. No diss to him, but he moves in that 100% market trend, watching BS. That doesn't work anymore. That's why he's not that fire of a shark no more, while he's not having billions. Let's see. Texas, Arizona, Arkansas, and a few other states have programs that pay major energy users to pause consumption. It helps the companies deal with the price fluctuation. Oh, yeah. We're going to check that article out at the end. All right. With that being said, let's hop into Elon Musk really quick. Listen, there's one thing when I say it, it's a whole nother thing when a billionaire like Elon Musk says this. Elon Musk hits at SEC DOJ amid suit to force testimony in Twitter probe. It ain't no fun when a rabbit got a gun. But really quick, I want to point out how, like, I've been screaming it for years. The professionals that made their money in other things, who are traditionally, it's not even an ages thing. I would say traditionally, because it's not even that, it's not even old, but like 44 to 46 plus from what I've been seeing from the people I know personally who've already made money in other professions who come over to crypto. They've tried to do everything they can do to mitigate their losses. That includes inviting regulators to the party. To me, Elon Musk did a bit of that. He did a lot of inviting the old money and old things to the party. And now once the Twitter thing happened and he's not liking how they're playing ball, it's like, well, where you been, man? We needed this support for a minute. We have needed the support of Elon Musk against the. How many articles about the SEC do I have dating back to when? Or excuse me, live streams? It's crazy. So I'm happy to see Elon joins in, but this is the thing when we're talking to people about crypto and we're saying like you want the government and banks to be in charge of all your capital. They're like, well, I don't see a problem. It's like, okay, it's not a problem to the president that you don't like wins 2 elections and gets everyone to get on their side for a third or fourth or fifth or 15th one. And then they just say, you know what, I'll just keep everyone's money and redistribute it how I want. And I get it. It sounds unlikely. It sounds improbable, but it has happened. It's still happening in the world. It continues to happen. It's hilarious. Like people are just like, no, I don't see that happening anymore. They didn't have internet back then. We don't know what the hell they had back then. That's how they had pyramids. Okay. Like I think it's absurd to think these things couldn't happen. So I point all that out to say how passive Elon Musk has seemingly been, in my opinion. And now that it's like really at his doorstep, he's like, all right, enough's enough. And it's like, enough has been enough, man. Like enough has been enough. Again, last point about this one before I dive into the article, which is also hilarious to me. I keep saying this too, and you all don't get it. Elon, you not gang either. You just a rich boy. What did the Elon serving? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I could be wrong. Did Elon Musk serve in the military? Was he a police officer? Was he a fireman? Like, was he a teacher? Like, am I missing something? Bro, you're an entrepreneur who's been dodging taxes. Granted, maybe you deserve it because if you give so much back, whatever, even though I know you get a lot of tax money to begin with to do a lot of your programs and companies, whatever, you do a lot of good for the American people. I get it. However, people keep forgetting. I keep saying on here, y'all be thinking I'm playing. You're not gang either. Like you are to a certain extent. Yeah, you got probably top secret clearance and stuff for the things you help event or be a part of. But I don't see them inviting you into the war room being like, hey, if we attack so what are your thoughts on this? Like, that would be interesting. I don't know if you really gang like that. And to me, this is showing me that you're not. I keep trying to say it. Okay, somebody said, no, he's a rich South African immigrant. Okay, well, there we go. Yeah, you ain't gang. You're just a rich boy. So you about to get flipped by the government just like everybody else who ain't gang. Because I'll tell you what does happen when you are gang, unless you are literally breaking the law like JP Morgan often does and pays fines. A lot of these conversations and things like this are happening in the background. All right. They're getting that phone call And what will be for the most part. And maybe that has been happening, but maybe the SEC came with a number that Elon was like, oh, this is too much. Y'all getting crazy now. I've been watching that Power Force. I think it's Force, whatever, the spinoff book too. And it's like the dirty cop that went to go see the guy. You know, he's like, I want 50K from the drug dealer. Drug dealer, I can't do it. He gives him 50K. The cop comes back another week later. Hey, my sister going through more medical stuff. I need 50K again. I need it tonight. He's like, man, I can't, like, I really don't even make that much. He gives him 50K. Cop comes back the next day this time. He don't even wait a full week. He come back the next day. I need 25K. And he's like, you know, you're going to quit questioning me. I'm going to get 25. I'm going to get 100. I'm going to keep doing this until I'm done with you. Like, you're a drug dealer. I'll do this for forever. This is essentially what may have happened with the SEC. Maybe this was happening on the back end, and then the axe got a little too high. Either way, Elon Musk claims the SEC and Department of Justice are abusing their regulatory powers for personal and political gain to receive punitive action, something I have literally been saying for the longest. And you know what? They even came after me, so, you know, shout out to them. I'm not even a threat, and I've been saying this just to be objective about it. And now, again, good to see a billionaire finally come out and say it as well. Elon Musk has called for a comprehensive overhaul of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission hours after the regulator sued Musk because it alleges he failed to testify in his probe related to his $44 billion Twitter Now X purchase last October. And again, that's what I'm talking about. And somebody let me know in the comments. I'm not sure. Is Elon Musk a citizen yet? Is he an actual United States citizen? Whether he is or is not, again, man, woo, big cojones you have to be calling for a comprehensive overhaul of the US SEC. Like, it's one thing for me to say on this live stream. It's a whole nother thing to say when you got millions of people listening. Like, again, y'all keep do you think by now Gary Gensler is not a real gangster? You think Elon Musk is going to say we need a comprehensive overhaul of this man and his department, his job, and everything he stands for and that he does? And this same man is friends with every bank in America and government agency, and he's going to sit here and take it? Woo! We are about to be in for some interesting TV and news, people, in the next few months. This is going to get super exciting. Now we throw Elon Musk into this. You think the SEC is going to circle back and be like, hey, what was up with all those Dogecoin tweets you had? Is Dogecoin a security? Listen, he might have just F Dogecoin up for all y'all. Is Dogecoin a security? Why did you keep tweeting to people like this could get super ugly? Super, super, super ugly. So this is pretty interesting to see. But again, I'm glad he said it. He has the bankroll to fight them in court, right? He has the bankroll to fight them in court. I will say he better make sure he's clean. I'm sure if he wasn't already, it would have been out, but now it's going to get even worse. And I'm not talking about clean with all the different babies. I know him and his dad is trying to like repopulate the earth or something. I mean, clean as far as securities and all those other things. But yeah, I mean, essentially, and I think I told this story before with my admiral, like, when the commander didn't come see him when we pulled into a port, he didn't come kiss the ring, and the admiral took that very personal. You always got to come kiss the ring. Like, Elon, they told you to come talk to him, and you didn't even come talk to him? Oh, man. And you're not from America? Let me see. Okay, somebody said S1 Dub said he's a citizen now. When you are a billionaire, getting into citizenship is just a phone call away. And I figured that as well. I was like, I would figure if he wants to be, he can't. All right, I figure he has companies here. Same. Still don't matter. He's still not gang. It's a big this is when you realize you're not gang on days like this. You wake up. This is the same thing in the military. Anybody in the military tell you? Ask PFC Wells. Listen, military is a wonderful time until you realize you're like there is no when you get told no, that's concrete. There is no getting around that no. Whatever that no you get told, that's a no. So whatever you wanted that you're not getting that. So that's the only time you really realize the military. Then you're like, damn, like, it ain't nothing I can do about this situation. Nope. It's nothing you can do but accept it and enjoy life and move on. All right, Elon Musk, back to him. The SEC is investigating if Musk's purchase triggered security laws. An October 5th filing by the regulator in the California District Court seeks to compel. I compel you. Oh, whenever they use that compel, they seek to compel Musk to comply with an earlier SEC subpoena. In an ex post the same day, Musk suggested the SEC, along with the U.S. Department of Justice, I can't say that word, justice, should instead be the ones probed. A comprehensive overhaul of these agencies is sorely needed. along with a commission to take punitive action against those individuals who have abused their regulatory power for personal and political gain. The other thing I'm going to say, which is why I also mentioned police, and I'm being serious here. I'm kind of being funny with it, but I'm being serious. When I mentioned police, and I was like, was he a police officer? Was he a firefighter? When I said he's not gang, he's not a part of the gang. You didn't only go after the SEC. That's one thing, actually. To be fair, the SEC plays semi-fair when it comes to humanity. What I mean by that is like they're not physically, for the most part, outside of using their enforcement action to get you arrested, they're not the ones who are actually arresting and beating up on you, whatever, and killing possibly. I say that to say you're going after the Department of Justice, like Department of Justice. You're going after like, wow. You're going after the enforcers in the United States. These are the hard-hitted ones who just somehow passed a few grades that the bad kids didn't. They stayed in school while other ones ditched school and decided to join the DOJ. And I say this is like a positive thing. Like DOJ is great in some aspects, in some regards, and it's systemically flawed in many others. We know that as well. But by and large, I'm saying you're going after the courts, the judges, the sheriffs, the police officers. Like, are you out of your mind? Supreme Court, like, are you out of your mind, Elon Musk? Again, you need to be, in my opinion, you should be a part of the gang, or you should at least have a representative who is a talking head at your disposal, a part of it before you do these moves. What I mean by that is he needs to have like a 4-star general under his payroll right now doing something at one of his labs or factories. Like he needs to be employing like 30% of all like retired military vets type of deal. Like that's the type of contribution to the gang you need to be making in order to be going after the Department of Justice. To me, that is absolutely insane. I think it's gonna get interesting. Yay, listen, he's going after the Department of Justice. Like, you know how many friends in very high places they have? You want to play games with me? You want to come after me? Oh, wow. You want to personalize this, Elon? We just called you to come in and tell us about Twitter. First, you was buying it. The Twitter company, people quit. You fired someday. We just want to call you in. It was a big deal, man. We just want to talk to you. Listen, good luck, man. Goodness said King is definitely CIA. Listen, if I were, you would never know until it was too late. Oh, man. Let's see what else is going on. Can't wait for this to happen. Musk added in response to outlining the various actions the U.S. government has taken against Musk-led companies. On the whole flip side of this, too, I want to be clear. I say he isn't gang and all this other stuff. The last thing the United States wants as well is for Elon Musk to pull all his companies to go overseas. So listen, play fair, people. There is a line. There definitely is a line as well. He's bringing in a lot of capital. So yeah, SEC sues Elon in Twitter stock purchase case. Another witch hunt has started, says this Twitter person, Mario Napo. The SEC has been investigating Elon's 2022 purchase of Twitter shares, now suing to force him to testify and comply with their subpoena. I will say this, though, at the end of everything, we know the SEC doesn't play fair. They play super dirty, especially when there's money on the table and they want a piece. And I mean, Gary Gensler has made it overtly clear. He's made it overstood that he wants some money. He wants 2.4 billion. And if we don't give it to him as taxpayers in the government, he's going to get it from the likes of Elon. In fact, he might take both. All right. Here's Elon. Oh, you know what? I do remember him actually saying this.
You tweet a lot.
I use my tweets to express myself. Rarely.
Yeah.
Blue in August. Fraud.
No.
None. Does someone have to read them?
Tweet had a.
You know if it's going to be serious.
I want to be clear. I do not respect the SEC. I do not respect them.
But you're.
Hey, you know what? So I do take that back because I forgot he actually did put that out on that 60 Minutes episode. So he has been standing firm on that. But again, to now go after the actual a comprehensive overhaul, to go after people in the SEC and DOJ, it's getting a little too close. It's getting a little too close to some of these retirements and payments that they want for the rest of their lives. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. Mario is another Elon stan. Oh, okay, I got you. Did y'all saying scammer? Y'all funny. Send Elon to prison. Starlink sounds gang to me. True, he did get that satellite up, but did he get it up through the U.S. or initially through South Africa? But yeah, Starlink does sound gang to me. I feel you. What else do we have? He is the issue they have. SEC has limited power to force someone into court. SEC doesn't have arrest powers. They have to get backing from another agency for that. It's a paperwork agency. There we go. That's why he's going after both of them. All right, there we go. Disabled computer nerd vet here. Shout out to Metaverse president. There we go. Let's see. Even if you got the money, you're still not gang. That's what I'm saying. Listen, Zyro said, I'm learning today. He isn't a Doge father, though. He wants to be so bad. Let's see. Elon's going to use government money to fight the government scam. Likely, I could actually see that, him using government money to fight the government. I would. I mean, it is what it is. Let's see. They need to smack it again. He talked too much. What are you talking about? Okay. Elon just mad they smacked his hand. Okay, you said they need to smack it again because he talked too much. East Atlanta, Elon, hilarious. Who made that one up? I think I saw that somewhere. Oh my goodness. Who said Elon was Atlanta? Elon, no, why y'all going back and forth? Elon's from Atlanta. This is hilarious. All right. Let me get to this last story. What else do we have going on? Crypto. Actually, we're gonna do two because I want to do that. The Bitcoin miner one, but crypto VC funding falls to 3-year lows as market rout continues. If you have any thoughts on this, feel free to call in because this is a pretty interesting one to me. Venture capitalists are doing fewer deals, and the average deal size is getting much smaller, according to researchers. To be expected with everything that's happened the last year and a half and it being a down market for the most part. And honestly, a lot of these VCs, to me, they kind of follow the trend. They're not setting trends. So it takes the Chase Bank, it takes the Three O's Capital, something, some huge VC firm to start investing in a certain project or market before the rest follow. And as soon as one of them get out or get bankrupt out, which we've seen happen this last year, then they kind of follow suit too, because they don't know what to do. These aren't their moves. They're following other people into these moves. So to me, it falling in general makes sense. Also, you have to remember VC capital funding, to me, it goes with the psychological trading market in general. Like there's highs and lows, it's times of fear and all those type of things as well. So again, this is just their retracement cycle happening right now. I expect it to kick back up after the halving and after more regulatory clarity in January to March of next year. So especially we see what happens with any type of ETF. So I think we'll see more crypto VC funding come back. But yeah, it does make sense that it went down. According to October 5th report by blockchain analytics firm Sari, a total of 2.1 billion was raised by crypto startups across 297 deals in quarter 3 of 2023, down 36% from the previous quarter and nearly 70% from quarter 3 of 2022. Also, you have the money needs to come back. It has to be put to work. They can't. I mean, some of these same companies aren't going to keep giving that same raise every quarter. Seed funding accounted for the largest fundraising category with $488 million raised over 98 deals. Woo! 98 deals and 488 million. That's crazy. Trends in deal count show a significant away from later stage projects into early stage projects over the last 3 years. Researchers wrote less than 1.4% of deals involve companies at the Series B round or later. So you can see this chart on Cointelegraph. They say here, Masari stated harsh market conditions are forcing projects to raise short-term bridge rounds or ultimately get acquired by larger projects. If you remember, I mentioned some months ago, probably actually maybe a year ago now, that's what I think is going to happen now. I don't think Elon's a capitalist. I just look at the comments. What's wrong with y'all? In the effort to be more positive, I didn't want to say like 99% of the crypto market is going to pop and be like the internet pop, whatever. I decided to use the term consolidate because that is what's going to happen. I think a lot of these projects are really just going to consolidate. So they'll still kind of disappear, but they'll be absorbed into other projects. They're one piece of technology that is brilliant, that works. And maybe it does something small in the market. Maybe it doesn't do something big, but it's just something super small that's needed in the market that one project has focused on, time locks or whatever else, right? They can shift that over and be absorbed and consolidate into a bigger project to where you see that happen there. So I think this kind of goes in line with that thought process where they say ultimately get acquired by larger projects. I mean, we're seeing that on the VC side, and I think we're going to see that on the overall crypto side. Why? Because for one, the regulators are coming. It's going to, they're getting closer and closer every year. And as they get closer, the market is going to become more and more constrictive and constricted. Whereas like if you don't have 100K to start this up, then you have no chance of starting with these licenses or anything. And once that happens, that's when we'll start seeing these projects get consolidated. And then once that happens, you'll start to see VCs funding more streamlined projects itself, right? So I can see that happening. It makes sense. And yeah, I mean, the question at this point is just how far off are we from that? And once that happens, where will all this extra capital go? Will it be going to the altcoins? Will it be going to Ethereum? Will it go to Bitcoin? Where will all this capital start to flow to? So I don't know. To me, it's kind of interesting to see that is that it's 3-year low right now. But again, well, actually, even through 21 and 2022, that means the money was really pumping in 2020, 21, and then it just really hit an eclipse since then. So that's kind of crazy to see, but it does happen. Let me see what we have in the comments. Let's see. Goodness, they'll not want to touch any potential security. Bitcoin only investments incoming. I can see that happening. Did I see the new HWW by Jack Dorsey's new company called Block? I have. Oh, the hardware wallet. No, I haven't seen it. I gotta check it out. VCs are realizing that crypto is a scam. Yep, that's true. Why did y'all say something about Elon as a Kappa? Signal of the bottom. Listen, for sure. Like I said, we don't get a another Black Swan event. That's it. That is it. We're going sideways and up. All right, let's see. I want to check out this last article. I see it pop up on CNBC September 6th. Oh, it popped up today. Wow, good shout out. I can't remember who called that out earlier. Sharing this article now. Texas paid Bitcoin miner riot $31.7 million to shut down during a heat wave in August. Another reason to be a miner. Bitcoin miner riot platforms raked in 31 point. And aren't they on the stock exchange? So if they are, does that go back to the investors or does that just go to the overall stock price? Somebody let me know. But they raked in $31.7 million in energy credits. Oh, it's a credit. Okay, makes sense. From Texas power grid operator ERCOT in August. I'm about to say, I know nobody passing over $31.7 million. They say, listen, as long as you shop here, you can use it. During a record-breaking heat wave in the state, Riot voluntarily curtailed its energy consumption to take advantage of credits available by limiting use. Riot is benefiting from an alternative source of income at a time when losses are mounting. And you all did mention, I saw you said this often happens in some of these places where they essentially are doing different things to save on energy. They'll work with the different companies who are taking a lot of energy. I remember when I went to the mining farm in Iowa, same thing. They work with the Iowa Power Company and all that good stuff with their energy. So I can see that call being made. But no, that's pretty cool. That is cool to see that this is happening on the back end. I didn't know these type of things were happening in the back end, but that's super cool to see. Let's see. The total value of the credits dwarfed the 333 Bitcoin company mined in August, worth about $8.9 million at the end of the month. Wow. So that's crazy. Pretty cool to see. So again, if you have a mining facility in one of these heat wave areas and they need to call you to turn off all the machines and the price of Bitcoin is low, then hey, you just save some money. Turn them off, right? All right. Other than that, I'm gonna check out these last few comments. Oh, it was I couldn't think off the top of my head. It was JP's JP Barrick's Bitcoin company. Hold on, I'm about to get it for you right now. It is called Mining Store. It is called Mining Store. Yes, Mining Store. Make sure you check it out. They do tours and everything. It's a pretty cool place to see. I believe that was in Iowa, isn't it? Iowa, Idaho. I get the eyes confused. I'm trying to click on it right now while I'm talking. Okay, what else do we have going on? We never have to ask anyone to hop off our grid because our grid is made right. You guys got a lot of windmills and stuff as well. Unless they do a dividend, no, it does not. Okay, thank you. I believe. Oh, appreciate that. Okay. Other than that, that is the show for the day. Have a happy Friday. Make sure you smash that like and share. Check out the Discord this weekend. I'm probably going to be on it tomorrow for some of the day because I'm doing a lot of research on some different projects and everything like that. So if you're on Discord, give me a shout there. We'll get these conversations rolling. Check you out there and smash that like and share. Cheers.